Hello, this is Miyoko's channel, and today I have a very, very special guest, world well-known Cathy O'Brien. Cathy O'Brien, thank you very much for coming to my channel.
Thank you for having me on. It's good seeing you.
Lots of people, English-speaking people already know Cathy O'Brien a lot. And I'm trying to introduce to the Japanese audience today. But Cathy, can you just briefly talk about yourself?
Yes, I am a survivor of mind control. I've been speaking out for over 35 years on mind control, the effects of trauma on the human mind, and healing from it, especially the healing part, because there's always solutions. And we have a resiliency of body, mind, and spirit. So I like to remind people of their own inner power and that they can reclaim their happiness, their freedom, and their life's purpose.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And you've been healing so many millions of people already, I think. That has all the...
I've been speaking out globally, yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you do personal counseling or just lectures, or what is your activity?
I usually help people who are working with survivors of trauma, whether it's from human trafficking or if it's just grief from losing loved ones, if it's just dealing with trauma that life seems to put in our way. You know, there's so much that we have to deal with every day. And so I deal with the people who are helping all these different directions, because the way our brains respond to trauma is the same. And our ability to heal is the same, because we've just been blessed with resiliency of body, mind, and spirit. And I'm able to remind people of that. And so they're able to heal from their grief, heal from their trauma, and reclaim their freedom to live their life with joy.
And you are now enjoying your life in that beautiful area?
Very much, very much. I'm out in nature a lot. It helps me to stay balanced as I face what life is throwing our way. These are politically intense times. They're very volatile times, and helps to get out in nature, breathe in the air, feel the sunlight on your skin, feel the breeze, you know, listen to nature, see the animals, the foxes and the deer and the raccoons and the eagles. We have eagles here, but just so many beautiful things of nature that really help me stay grounded and balanced while I help others to do the same.
Wow. So you were born and raised in Michigan.
Yes.
I think you said in that interview with Roseanne Burr.
Dear friend and a very well-known actress and activist.
Yeah, I can see that you resonate with each other.
Yes, very much.
100%. I think you said that Michigan is one of the pedophilia capital of the United States.
Yes, and it had the Epstein Island of its time in Mackinac Island, Michigan. These kind of places have been around my whole life, and I'm just happy that people are finally seeing it, because awareness is the first step towards positive, necessary change. So these kind of activities are becoming less and less because people are not tolerating it.
This Mackinac Island,
Yes.
Epstein Island is very, very known now.
Yes.
Everybody knows Epstein Island. This Mackinac Island, maybe not nobody in Japan knows about it, but is it well known now in the United States that what was going on?
It was happening back in the early 60s when people weren't aware that those kind of things were going on, because this kind of trauma, this kind of abuse is hidden in plain sight. people don't realize it's happening right in front of them. And once we gain our eyes to see, we're able to start making a difference and stopping it. So there's that. There's like Mackinac Island, Michigan, Bohemian Grove. You know, there's just different places where these people meet and then use blackmail videotapes to keep each in line to make sure they keep complying with a globalist agenda, because they don't trust each other either. So they have to blackmail each other. And that blackmail operation has been going on my whole life. I was used in it as a little toddler myself.
Wow, but you survived.
Yes.
That's a miracle.
And healed.
And healed. And you're here. Joyful here. That's a miracle.
It is.
You're so happy and joyful.
I'm very grateful to have healed. That an intelligence insider, Mark Phillips, saw what was happening and wanted to help, and was able to lift me from the trauma and remind me that it's within me. It's within all of us to heal. It's within everyone to reclaim their power and to stop any level of abuse, so that we can reclaim our life's purpose. I'm so fortunate to have survived it and to have healed, that I want to tell everybody, we can heal. Look, no matter what happens to us, we can heal. And it's a really important message for the times that we're living.
Oh, there's so many things that we can ask you, you know, because you're very knowledgeable and you're the experiencer. So, you know, people that are listening, maybe they haven't really been through all these abuses, but everybody in their life has some traumatic experiences or sad experiences that they can't forget and they want to forget. Or lots of people might have certain diseases, cancer or something, and usually the cause of the disease, illness, is their way of thinking of trauma or stress in their life. So maybe your experience or your teachings can be applied to everybody in their life.
Yes. Yes. And when we understand that mind control is a sliding scale, from the kind of robotic, traumatic mind control that I experienced on the highest political levels, to information control, because we all formulate our thoughts, our opinions, and ultimately our actions based on what we know. And we need to know our knowledge base has been altered a long, long time, to keep us from remembering who we are and why we're here, to keep us from remembering that we have all the power. And instead, we're conditioned to give that power away to big government, big pharma, big tech, big, occult religion or whatever, where we always are giving it away because we've been conditioned. And when we understand how our minds respond to trauma and how easily our minds are manipulated, we begin to understand that repetition is the most basic form of mind control. If we hear a command 3 times, then it becomes a part of our subconscious mind, especially if our conscious mind is frozen in fright. And it's like why so many people, when they were scared of the pandemic, then they were easily led, because their conscious mind's frozen in fright, leaves the subconscious open to being led. And then we hear repetitive narrative, mask up, we were told the same things over and over and over. So people did it without even really giving it much thought. But when we understand that that's how our brains work, then the next time we're feeling traumatized and frozen in fright, we'll safeguard that, and we won't listen to repetitive narrative. We'll shut off the TV. We'll get out in nature. We'll take a walk. We'll think free for ourselves and be mindful of our actions, that we're doing exactly what we freely choose to do rather than what we're being manipulated to do. So when you consider that aspect, yes, everybody all over the world can use the simple methods for healing that I use, because it's our birthright knowledge. As human beings, we all can reclaim our freedom and safeguard our free thought going forward, so that everything we do is out of love for each other, out of love for humanity, and out of living our life's purpose.
I was thinking, I translated the book called The Secret, written by Rhonda Byrne. It's a bestseller, and it's talking about law of attraction, that you create your own reality. And Rhonda Byrne lost everything, really lost everything, and bankrupt, and her father died. And out of that desperation, she wrote this book, or the movie, The Law of Attraction, to make everybody, even the children in primary school, those kind of children can understand. A very easy kind of book to make everybody really understand that they're the creator of life and they can change their situation. And she did it herself from this, real awful situation. And she got everything she wanted, everything. And
That's beautiful.
She's living in the woods like you, and she's blonde. Now, I was thinking, you're the same. You were really in the hell situation. And when we hear your story, we can't believe how you survived all those traumatic and awful, dreadful things that went on in your life from your childhood. But yes, you survived, and you're so happy and shining and in heavenly realm with a joyful spirit. So, you're the person who really realized that. So you can teach from all your experiences that people can do it, right?
Yes.
That could be applied for anything. So I'm sorry, it's your thing is very, very big things, but just for the common people, just for instance, there's lots of people who have turbo cancer now because of the injection. Lots of people have lots of problem of this. And, even from not even having this, there seems to be many people that have some certain kind of illness. Yes. And I realize that many people have cancer, maybe because of my age. My age is in it. But I think you said in one interview that you had a cataract. Did you have cataract or something? Eyes? You had to go to the eye doctor.
I thought. Yes, I had damage to my eyes, and we have an ability to heal so much.
Mm-hmm. And I thought you said you healed it before. When you went to the eye doctor, it was gone.
It could pretty much see around it, because we can develop 44 times visual acuity when trauma happens. When we see people who've been through trauma, their eyes are wide open, because they're seeing around them, like they want to see trauma before it happens again. Well, that's if we have that capacity in our brain to be able to see like that, then we can choose that without the trauma. Our brains are capable of doing that. We say, oh, okay, then I can drive it with love. If we drive it with love, which is the most powerful force in the universe, the strength of the human spirit, well, then we're capable of accessing these parts of our brain that trauma activates. So why don't we know that? We should all be knowing that. That's our birthright knowledge. That's good to remember. And then all of a sudden we have capacity for healing. We have capacity for having the most amazing immune system. Our immune systems are very, very strong, and we can be healthy. I stay healthy all the time because I'm aware of what we've been blessed with all along. We have this capacity. So I live that. It's in some ways a law of attraction. It's bringing about what we choose in our lives, because when we live at a higher vibration, then then we have health and well-being and peace. We have good things coming into our lives. So I choose never to live in a state of bitterness, fear, or self-pity, because those are not my energies.
Is that your dog? You want to go?
Sorry.
I can wait. Please go to the dog. If you need to, Kathy.
So sorry. We do have wild animals around here.
I thought there may be a burglar. That's why your dog was barking.
No, it's wild animals, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you seem to have a very big dog, strong dog.
Oh, he's massive. He's a very big dog. Yes.
That's protecting you.
Yes, he's beautiful too. I'll send you a picture of him. He's amazing.
That's very interesting because I know, and lots of people know, that it's very important to keep high vibration. But living in the city like me, and there's lots of stress in the life, there's lots of certain things happen, and so,
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit more about how you keep yourself healthy? I
Well,
very high vibration, and be happy and be grateful and loving. But you go for a walk a lot.
yes. And I know, I understand the brain function from having experienced such a strategic scientific formula of mind control. And within it is sleep, food, and water deprivation. And when we consider that, we understand why some of our food is losing its nutrition. When it's genetically altered, it takes away the natural nutrition that we need. When our water is fluoridated, it takes away the saturation that we're needing in our brains. Every bit of it affects our ability to critically analyze and think free. So I understand that. And sleep deprivation is one people experience because they're having to work too many jobs and deal with too much stress and everything just to put food on the table. And then the food is, genetically modified. So it's just this bad cycle. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take good care of myself. So I eat natural foods, organic foods that are grown in healthy soil that hasn't been depleted. And my water is pure. I'm on an aquifer, which means the water is as pure as it gets just by nature itself. And I don't have city water. And then I sleep really good. I sleep a whole lot and get plenty of good rest so that I'm always fresh. And this rejuvenates my brain. And then getting out in nature and keeping a good attitude, of understanding that I am not going to live bitterness or hatred or negativity, because that happened the first 30 years of my life with mind control. Nobody's going to get any more of that from me. That's their vibration. They're low vibration. People who do that to other people, they're low vibration. They're dark, negative energy force. So they're not going to get vibration from me. I'm going to live the love I am. I'm going to just live my joy, live my purpose, and share truth everywhere.
Sorry. Thank you very much. About the water. So what kind of water are you drinking from your nature or the?
Yes, from a well that
Yeah.
is on an aquifer. It's very, very pure water. It's the like an underground source of water that's pure.
Can you spell that word?
Probably not.
Oh, sorry, because I'm I'm Japanese. I didn't understand.
Oh, no. I'm not sure how to spell it. I think it's AQUIFER.
But it means the water from the underground?
Yes.
Yeah. So you
It's
have a well.
Yes.
And because of your place, the well is clean. Because I have a well in this house, but it might not be clean. Even the well, the water might not be that clean.
It's not always. I'm very fortunate in that regard, and I cherish that.
Okay. So water is, of course, very, very important, but you don't take any supplements? No? No supplements?
I eat very well, and I will take some, but very minimally. Some simple ones like vitamin Z. Like that. That's mostly I get it naturally through
Okay. So you
my food.
don't need to take magnesium or mineral or anything. You just get everything from nature.
As much as possible, absolutely. Yes.
Maybe, but the big portion is the mind. Maybe. I think
Yes.
everything correct, but if you're very stressful and sad, I think you can't be healthy, right? So
Right. Right. It's all the power of the mind is so amazing. What we're capable of is we've forgotten. We've forgotten how much we are able to heal our own bodies and stay healthy, to be resilient, to be active and energetic, to be happy. Happiness brings energy, so all of that does matter. And it's a very important aspect of life. I learned it from having experienced such an extreme opposite that I cherish my freedom to embrace good health and well-being. It's in the healing methods in PTSD, Time to Heal, that share that information everywhere with people, because those are very key components to being able to have enough clarity of thought to be able to think free.
yeah, I got that book, the PTSD app from Amazon. I got it.
Oh,
And of course, I read your book, The Trance. And so, of course, I went to the School of Ramtha um, school, which teaches that you're creator of your life.
yeah.
And of course, I went to the Monroe Institute, and I'm the outreach official facilitator there. And I translated The Secret. So I know the power of the mind and I know all the methods, but I still want to confirm with you that, for instance, if you have cancer, I'm sorry, always talking about cancer. I don't have cancer, but I have friends who have cancer. So, for instance, if you have cancer, I learned that you should be saying that I'm healthy, I was healthy, I have been healthy, and I'm very healthy. The repetition, the affirmation. But you're very aching. All your body is aching, and you're so tired, and you saw all the tumors. So it's very difficult for your mind to believe that you're healthy, but still you have to repeat, I am healthy, I am healthy. So that means the repetition makes you really, in the end, believe that you're healthy, right? That's what you.
Yes, it does. It helps tremendously. There are also many cures for cancer that are coming to the forward right now. That information is coming out more and more. There's some simple things that we can do for our health, but to I have been diagnosed with cancer before, and I rejected the diagnosis. I did not say I have cancer. I never took that on. I was like, oh, I have a problem in this area that I need to adjust and take care of health wise. So then I would focus my health there. So I never have the problem. I don't accept the problem to begin with. It's like when people might catch cold, and it's like, I don't have time for a cold. I don't have time for the flu. And if I don't have time for it, I don't get it. So the mind can be very, very powerful with those kind of things by simply rejecting the illness by not taking it on. It's like when you go into a room and there's negative energy in the room, I don't take that on and walk out, down and less energized. Instead, I exude my love. I exude my energy. I live that, and I put that out. And so I'm giving instead of taking that in. And then that makes all the difference. And I never get drained, so I always have energy, it's because I'm living that energy. It's a way of choosing.
So I think you have like a aura, or I don't know how to say, the energy barrier around you. So you have big, big love, extremely big love. So that's like a barrier around yourself. That's why you don't get any effect from negative energy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And when we look within and find our strength, the human spirit, it is the infinite power of love. It's the most powerful energy force in the universe. It always wins. It's like the light, it's like light it exposes darkness. It makes darkness dissipate. Darkness can't creep in on light, Light is the one that shines. So love is the same way. I look at it as like an energy force and just live that and shine that. And that way we maintain our health and well-being.
So I used to translate for the Barbara Brennan Healing School, which is another very, very famous healing school. And lots of people can see people's aura and, the energy around them. And, some people are very beautiful aura and some people are very like this,
Yeah.
And we kind of add breathing exercise to it. We really breathe out and breathe in and try to make our aura big, to make our protection whenever we go on the airplane or crowded places. But you do it naturally because you're always emitting the love energy all the time. So that you do it naturally. So you're not affected by any negative energy or information or anything, right?
Well, I had that so much the first 30 years of my life under mind control, and it was so horrific. And now that I'm free, I choose to live that. And it's not about ignoring what's going on in the world, because it is that I'm aware, so very aware of what's going on in the world, that I just keep shining the light so other people will see it too, because awareness is the first step towards positive, necessary change. And we need to see some positive change in our world where people are freer and happier, and we stop the kind of traumatic oppression and physical health attacks that we've all been enduring. We don't need to have that in our lives. We need to make the positive, necessary change. We need to stop following self-appointed, self-anointed leaders that we didn't choose or elect in any way. They just assumed their authority over us, and they don't have that authority. They only have as much power as we give them or let them steal. We have all the power, and they're so scared we're going to remember that. Haven't been around them. That's their greatest fear, is we're going to remember who we are, why we're here, and start living the love we are.
So you've been touring around the United States sometimes? You have?
Yes.
So can you see the change of the American people?
Yes.
Very much?
Very much.
Okay.
Very much. It's like at one time they waited for government to fix their problems for them. And now they're not waiting. The system's too messed up. So now people are taking responsibility for their own lives. They're getting out in their communities. They're talking to each other, eye to eye, heart to heart, soul to soul, and making the changes right in their own backyard, right in their own communities, restoring justice, bringing truth back into the school system, because our children were being indoctrinated on what to think. They didn't even know how to think anymore. Now we are restoring how to think into the school system by putting writing by hand back in. That's a simple brain trick that we all can do. When we move a pen, it activates the logic, critical analysis part of the brain. And then we have the words written in front of us where we consciously see it. And this is like opening our minds, expanding our thinking. It's given us critical analysis back. We all can do it. Write out our fear, write out our trauma, write out our grief and our guilt, and then add a solution. When we add the solution, it makes our brain fire even more. Well, the children are being taught that in the school again, too. Pick up that pen, start writing, and all of a sudden they're critically analyzing. So people are doing this all across the nation, and seeing them teaching children how to grow their own food, how to make the soil nutritious again, because the soil has been depleted, and we need to make it nurture the soil and bring that back, and then grow organically. So they're being taught that. They're being taught to take care of their health. So it's something that's spreading all across the nation. And as I'm doing more and more international interviews, which I do a lot of, I'm seeing that people all over the world are doing this. They're tired of waiting on someone to fix their problems for them. And they're only just getting worse when we wait, when we take responsibility for our lives, which to me is the ability to respond, the choice, how we do it. And then we get to live our lives with the purpose that it was intended. In many ways, it's like a spiritual evolution that's happening all across the planet. I've heard it called a great awakening, whatever we want to call it. The reality is people are reclaiming their own power, which means they're living their love. When we live the love we are, it's game over. We win and we get to have life the way it's intended to be. I'm so happy to see that happening. I waited a lifetime for this, and here it is.
Of course, it's been long for you, lifetime.
Yes.
And you survived, and you're able to enjoy and be the leader and see the change. But in your neighborhood, is it like an eco village that you have friends or neighbors, the similar lifestyle that in your community?
Very, very similar, free thinking, people who live their love. We have a lot of compassion and care in my area. And then when I go to the farthest ends of the United States, I find it happening there too. So this is I don't know, it seems to be raising the vibration of the whole planet and waking more people up. Must be a lot of bright light, dawn of a new day, waking people up.
But you know that hurricane that happened in North Carolina?
Yes.
And
Yes.
a while ago in Hawaii, Lahaina, and
Yes.
in Noto in Japan, it seems that I think that was the deep states. It's not natural. I think it's not natural. Maybe hard weather manipulation.
I've talked about heart for over 35 years. So yeah, and I think that at this point, I'm wondering if you think in terms of like weather wars or weather technology, I think there's countermeasures to it now. There's things that are happening in a very unusual way, like just happened in Florida with that hurricane last week, and it just dissipated all of a sudden, you know. So some things are changing, and I wonder at it all. I feel like every weapon that the dark force could use against us has been used, and I think none of it's working anymore. I think as more and more people realize that and claim the victory, live the love they are and shine their light, game over. No more. We win.
Oh, that's right. I heard that Florida, the hurricane minimized than the forecast. But there was the casualty in North Carolina, right? That's right.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people that were victims.
Yes. And the people are helping people, not waiting for government to fix it. People helping people. So there's something to be learned from that for all of us, and that this is our time to reclaim our compassion for each other and take responsibility for our own lives and reach out to each other. It's up to
sorry, I'm jumping all the time. You naming names, I mean, very brave, and lots of politicians, you name them, like Dick Cheney and Bush. I personally don't think Dick Cheney is around anymore. Maybe it's not the original. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but is it not dangerous for you to name names of the politicians? Maybe they don't have power anymore. That's the
when my testimony for Congress was released in 1995 in Transformation of America, national security was invoked on it. With national security invoked on it, it means I'll never see conventional justice. But that's okay, because to me, the ultimate justice is positive change through public awareness. But while I'll never see conventional justice, that means they can't stop me either. So they've already been seen as guilty, or national security wouldn't be invoked. All my testimony in Transformation of America was validated by members of intelligence and law enforcement, and all the evidence is already there. So it's already proven. So it's not going to help to eliminate me now, because the truth's already out. It's too late.
Yeah,
they let me live. They
can prove more that if you're killed, it prove more that you were right.
Yes, yes. And they never thought I would survive. They didn't know I could. They so many government secrets and personal reputations were staked on their belief that I couldn't heal. They were wrong. They didn't consider the strength of the human spirit. They didn't consider the power of love. They didn't consider that we've all been blessed with this ability all along.
But anyway, personally, I don't think they have power anymore, these people. No. Personally, that's
not with me.
Opinion. But about that island, the Bohemian Grove, I'm sure that's already taken over by white hats. It's not working anymore.
I'm not sure if it's taken over or if it's just shut down.
Shut down, I mean.
Yeah. And then it's so Epstein Island's exposed. That means it might be over here. Now we're seeing this Diddy thing come out, and and so it will change and change and change, and until it can't exist anymore, because people are onto it, and they're catching on to that very much right now. They're realizing that, and they're not tolerating this kind of abuse of people anymore.
So Epstein Island and Didi, so all these one by one is being exposed, and then everything is going to be exposed.
Yes.
So that island that you talked about, that's already not used for that kind of purpose.
Right.
Right? It's finished. They don't do that anymore there.
Not that same way. Because it's been exposed. They like secrecy. They hide in the dark and secrecy. Everything is secret. That's why there's secret meetings, secret societies. It's their secret agenda. Everything's secret. So when we put the spotlight of truth on it, then it exposes them, and they don't like that. So they go hide somewhere else, or or just completely dissipate in the light. Some amazing miracles happening. I feel like my whole life is a miracle to even still be here. But then I look at what happened with the assassination attempt on President Trump. That's looked like divine intervention all the way, because the determination to assassinate him was extreme, and he has been able to survive. And I believe that that there is a higher vibration at work. There's a divine intervention. There's something more powerful than this dark force. And I think it's what's destroying it. I think this is bigger than politics. And When I look at President Trump and what he has accomplished for humanity by exposing this dark negative force, by exposing child sex trafficking, human and drug trafficking, that is bigger than politics too. That's a human rights issue. And to me, it goes into a realm of spiritual, because mind control of any kind, of any trauma, inhibits our ability to think, to express the strength of the human spirit. If we can't think to express it, then we lose our compassion for each other, and we lose our hope, and we lose our purpose. And that's the point of mind control, is to subdue us. And people are waking up. The mind control is not working. They're gathering their free thought. With it comes free will. With free will comes soul expression. Our soul expression gives us compassion, discernment, the ability to tap into the strength of the human spirit and the infinite power of love. And all of a sudden, we've got this spiritual evolution that's coming on because people are thinking free. And we started thinking free when we had that spotlight of truth shine while President Trump was in. We've had that light shining from different places for a long time, other than just politics. And it is waking people up. So I think it's a conglomeration of things that's very beautiful, and ultimately will result in the necessary political change that is in harmony with the will of the people.
Yeah, thank you very much. When you said the divine intervention, I was following Kim Clement, the prophet, and this prophet has been saying from like before 2010, even before Donald Trump said that he's going to run for the presidency. This Kim Clement said that there's be a president named Trump. So I think it is the divine intervention, and the God has chosen Donald Trump to do what you said, not just politics, but all the problems. So, but
I get very excited seeing that aspect, and I've been posting a lot of blog podcasts on my website that I've been writing about how we align with the divine, and how we have divine healing and the divine intervention, the divine intuitions. We have so much more to our beautiful lives than to just work round the clock and, try to make ends meet. We have a beautiful purpose to our lives. And I think people are remembering that now.
Yeah. And I don't think we should pray to God or Jesus Christ, because we are the God, and we are all the fractal of Creator. So we all have this divineness inside us. So I think that's what you're saying, that we remember that we're a very divine being.
Yes, it's like I wrote one on divine prayer that is realizing that in that timeless space of that spiritual space, that the prayers are already answered. We need to accept them, because so often people ask, but they forget to receive. It's like, cure me of this cancer. And it's like, oh, I am cured. I didn't have it to begin with. It's an attitude and a realization of the beauty of the answer to prayers that already is.
Yeah, yes, that's right. So I used to teach people that when you go to shrine, people usually pray and say, "Oh, please let me heal my illness, or maybe pass this test or whatever." But no, you should say, "Thank you very much. That is already."
Yeah. Yes.
Well, thank you, Cathy. That was a very beautiful interview. But I wanted to ask a little bit about that interview you did in Japan for the Japanese TV.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was in year 2000. What year? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. It seems like it was around 2005.
Yeah, very long time.
In that area. And Mark Phillips and I did the interview, and we had a very, very wonderful, profound experience with it.
Wow, I thought the TVs are controlled by deep state, but they were able to broadcast that? Was it broadcast on TV?
Apparently so. And it seems that it was well received when it was out. I don't know that it's still showing or still around, but at the time, it was a delightful opportunity, an enormous effort of the film crew and everyone with the show to make that information available so that people would know we have an ability within us to heal from any level of trauma that we experience.
You don't have that video.
I'm not sure. I think I have it on a VHS around somewhere, but I would have to look. I will look for that.
That's very precious, I just found it on YouTube, but it doesn't show the letters very clearly. So I couldn't even know the name of that interviewer. I don't know if he survived. I don't know. He might have been fired, Well, it's very difficult to broadcast that kind of theme on TV.
Yes, on any in any country, really, because this has been mind control is used for the whole globalization effort, which is a slave society agenda. They need us subdued, and knowledge is our defense against it. So they don't want people to have the knowledge, but the knowledge is so simple because it's our birthright knowledge. We were born with it all along. We just forgot. We just need to remember who we are and why we're here.
The major TV should broadcast that kind of program.
Yes.
At Disclosure. I think it was called Disclosure.
I believe.
He was disclosing about Hitler as well. That Hitler is not dead. And very, important truth. And I think he was trying to find or broadcast about the assassination of John Lennon. John Lennon.
Yes, possibly. John Lennon,
right? John Lennon from Beatles.
Yes. The Beatles were part of Tavistock Institute, and they were using harmonics in music that vibrate the neuron pathways of the brain. And so this technology was used, and I think that they were trying to expose that people could be manipulated and to set people free instead with the beautiful words like imagine and all. So I think there was quite an effort to set people free instead. And I think it ended very tragically.
Sorry. So I remember I read about that. Beatles was the, trained or mind controlled in Taiwan.
Yes.
So you mean that music that was very popular, it was harming the people?
Not necessarily. It can be used for that, and music and harmonics it's a technological way of manipulating the mind that is very prevalent through any form of media, whether it's the music or television, news, through the internet. There's all different ways that harmonics affect us, and we need to understand that. Be very mindful of what we put in our heads,
CIA の秘密を話す気になったのはなぜなのか。その答えが妻であるオブライアンさんにあった。彼女もまた MK ウルトラの被害者だというのである。政府の闇の仕事に一般市民や子供が何も知らされずに利用されていることへの苛立ち。彼女もまた子供時代の虐待の事実につけ込まれ、本人も気づかないままに政府に利用されていたのだという。
MK ウルトラのコントロール下に置かれていた私は何が起きているのか分かっていませんでした。意識や自覚といったものが全くなく、判断力、理解力、疑問を感じる能力などが全て奪われていたのです。
それでは彼女に遂行させた任務とはどんなものだったのか。
CIA による麻薬の密売に関する手助けをしていました。
思考を完全に奪われていた彼女は政府が裏で行う麻薬の密売に利用されてきたのだという。外国の要人やマフィアとの取引を有利に展開するため、女性という武器を行使する任務。彼女はエネルギー時代からまことしやかにささやかれてきた巨大な闇の中を泳がされ続けたということなのか。
But the very popular pieces by Beatles was composed to mind control people, you mean?
I can't say so much on that. There's other ones that I know much more about, like Michael Jackson. But
Michael Jackson. Okay.
Yes, he was MK Ultra.
Yeah.
So it's a very deliberate form of mind control. And the harmonics that are used is what makes them so extremely popular stars. And then Michael Jackson tried to tell people what was being done. And he did songs like Have You Seen My Childhood, talking about the abuse and trying to get people to know that this is going on. And I think it's understood more and more that it is used in the entertainment industry. And really, it's pervasive in all walks of life. It's something we need to realize has been infiltrating the most beautiful parts of life. And we got to take that back and restore freedom to it.
Mr. Lennon.
狙いを定めた覚えさえない暗殺者の手でジョン・レノンは帰らぬ人となった。
So through this arrest of Gigi, maybe all those will be exposed, what was going on.
I hope so.
But going back to the assassination of John Lennon, of course, it's obvious. I mean, it's you tell everything about it in your book, but that even the assassins are mind controlled, and they don't even realize that they shot that person, right?
Right. That happens a lot. It happens a lot with school shootings and a lot of assassination attempts, high-level ones. It's something we need to understand. I had mentioned early on when we were talking about vision and healing vision and how I knew from 44 times visual acuity that comes with trauma. If there's trauma that's causing the 44 times visual acuity, they can make an assassin because they can target. It makes their precision, makes it very precision shooting. So in that regard, it's used in the military and it's used through assassins. So there's different aspects of our brain that are being used for a very negative agenda, when in fact they could be used for our own self-healing and for our own well-being instead of used in a negative way. If it can be driven from the outside input, then imagine what we can do driving it from within ourselves with the infinite power of love. I mean, it's amazing. We have all this ahead of us, and it's something we just need to realize and live.
Actually, these deep state using the mind control of people's mind, controlling their mind and making them do whatever they want them to do, like you were, made to do what they want you to do. But as you said, we can use that power of mind and do.
Yes.
That's wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, it is.
And you can be the teacher for that.
I've been teaching it for 35 years, and I'm not going to stop, because people are just now waking up to grasp it, to wrap their minds around it and realize what we have within us, and this beautiful life that we have in front of us when we live our life's purpose.
I'm getting very emotional because I was so mad and sad about these mind control, what happened to lots of people, even becoming assassins, or maybe they just commit suicide or whatever by all this mind control. But now we're going to make the opposite, and everybody's going to use that mind and beat them, and we are going to create a heavenly place on this planet.
Yes, yes, we can. We can.
So that's a very positive and happy end to this awful prison planet story, right? We're going to be liberated.
Yes.
and
to know that all these children that have been trafficked can heal, that it's within them all to heal. They just need to be safe. And it just takes us to open our eyes and care. When we just reach out with compassion and care for each other, we change the whole world. It's just it's time. It's time for us to live the love we are and shine.
You are the example, because there must be lots of children that had traumatic experiences, even in underground or whatever. But look at you. You're the example. Wow. It's lovely. So you have a very important mission that you survived, and you went all through these experiences. So wow, that's why you're so healthy. Because
that's why I'm happy, because people are waking up. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you. It was a very, very long interview. I hope it's already like 9 p.m. for you. Oh, 9:30? 9:30 on Sunday. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And thank you very much. So this is the end of our interview. Thank you, Cathy O'Brien, for coming to my channel. Thank you.